Mm-hmm. That's when it all started, yep. Because I moved out to my property, and my neighbor to the south of me does not want me here. And he's got a state trooper son. He's got a state trooper son, okay?
Oh, so your neighbor...
has a state trooper son. He don't want me here.
Everybody wants to be a YouTube star. If I could do it without being a star, I'd be very happy, but I just know that I'm going to have to be in the spotlight in order to reveal all this corruption. That's the only way it's going to work. Anyways, Chille, you wanted a video? Well, I'll give you one. August 7th of last year, I was arrested because I was open carrying a 9mm on my side, practicing my Second Amendment. But I've had the concealed weapon permit before, but in 2018 I just didn't renew the license. You got to read in the Constitution. I always thought that when I ran across that word, inalienable rights, not to be infringed, why the hell would I need a concealed weapon permit to carry a pistol? Especially if I wasn't covering it up. As soon as I stepped out of the truck, it was wide open. And I really didn't have to step out of the truck, but he offered to let me wiggle my brake light. Apparently the wire wasn't working on it. That's why he stopped me for brake light. I ended up spending a night in jail, and then they let me out 10 o'clock at night. Oh, I got a good story to tell you, though. But anyways, yeah, I got a trial coming up on the 13th of this February here, and I ain't got no lawyer. I can't trust a public defender to defend me over something like that. These guys violated my Fourth, and they used my First Amendment saying I resisted arrest. I mean, come on, really? I'm 64 fucking years old. I didn't resist one bit. I took 2 steps out of the truck, and the officer grabbed me by both my wrists.
You got arrested August 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Is that on video?
On their body cam.
There were 5 cops there. There's got to be dash cam.
I've seen part of the first arrest already. I've seen the video.
Okay. You didn't take a video, though?
He didn't get his camera on in time.
I didn't get my phone on in time. I had it on the charger. I was going to get, hey, I wasn't thinking about nothing about getting arrested. I didn't think if he said my brake lights are out that I was going to be in handcuffs a few seconds later. That was a big turn I didn't expect. I've lived around here all my life. You know what I mean? I've carried that gun, open carry, around this neighborhood in Muskegon.
I have a question about the 5 police cars that showed up to the scene. All their body footage. I know that they put them in one of the sheriff's car and said, you're a felon today. Get in this car, you're a felon today. They belittled him and stuff, and I think they should get the footage of that.
Yeah, and then he says he's going to loosen up my handcuffs. You'll hear that on the video. He didn't loosen them up.
He tightened them.
He tightened them. Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
And then he says, get up, you felon, and get over to the other car. He certainly did say that to me.
And that was before he'd even convicted of anything.
Yep.
Oh, it's just insane, dude.
Yep. When you shut the car door in Michigan, you're in trouble, I guess, if you don't have a concealed weapon permit.
But we didn't know that.
Well, I don't know. I had that permit up until 2018.
But it doesn't matter. Does it matter? You're not.
No, like I said, I said
you're no danger.
No,
I was carrying a weapon for self-protection because with all them people coming across the border and they're just shipping them into the United States, deep in the United States, they're letting off groups of them. Yeah. It's gonna start affecting all of us here shortly.
Okay, so you have a weapon for self-protection only,
and for hunting. I hunt. I shot a couple deer this year. We got canned venison here.
Have you ever been charged with any kind of crime?
No.
You ever been charged with anything? Anything on your record?
No.
Okay. So
I was a garbage man for 17 years.
You just simply had a gun and what?
I was going to get hay. That's all.
Jiminy Crickets. And what's the name of that town again?
Yeah, make sure people...
What's the name of the town?
Muskegon, Michigan. Make sure people subscribe to my channel so I can get live. Oh, it'll be a lot funner if I get live.
Dalton Township, Muskegon, Michigan.
Muskegon, Michigan. And what's the name of the Muskegon Police Department?
It's the Muskegon Police Department, and it's the Muskegon Sheriff's Department, and it's the state trooper that arrested me. In my YouTube channel, there ain't no names, just my name. I have a channel that I got on.
All the videos on?
Yeah, that I got the videos on. When I give the address, that's my channel. I've already given you a video of me sitting here talking in the shack here.
No, I know that. I saw the video. So.
Did you? Okay, thank you.
Anyways, we went to see a lawyer before the pre-trial. And we walk in there, and I got a video on that. You got to hear it. You'll laugh your ass off. But anyways, we went in there, and automatically, as soon as we walked in the room, he's telling me how much trouble I'm in, and I didn't do nothing. I'm in a lot of trouble, and I haven't done anything to be in trouble. Other than carry a weapon I've been carrying ever since I've been a child. 12 years old, I've been shooting guns at rabbits and all that, providing for my family, and oh my God. I always carried a sidearm since 9/11. That's when I got my concealed weapon permit. Because people are running around with trying to bomb people and shit. Jesus. I don't know. I felt like I needed to carry a gun. Never felt like that in my whole life until 9/11. I spent a night in jail.
2 nights.
That first night I spent 2 nights?
Oh, no.
I just spent a night and then let me out the next night about 10 o'clock when they knew I didn't have a ride out there. But thank God it wasn't that cold. But anyways.
Talk about what's going on.
There's got to be something done here. That's torture, man. They're killing people.
You have a trial coming up.
Yeah, and I got a trial on the 13th. They're going to strip me from my rights.
You
And
need help. That's what we're...
These people are picking on me. I went back. I've been to... How many pre-trials I have been to already?
3 pre-trials.
That third one, they threw me back in jail because there was electronic
telecommunication?
Violation.
Or malicious telecommunication.
Malicious telecommunication violation.
You got a warrant that came out just now? You have a warrant for your arrest?
Not right just now. No, that was the one that they, on that 4th pre-trial the other day, that when I got in there and when it was all done, I went to leave. They said, hey, wait a minute. That's when I'm sending you the reason why that one is. I sent you some email stuff of the order a judge did on me out here. And
hold on, Ricky. Ricky, let me ask you a question here. So you go to court for your hearing for the case.
Gun thing. Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me walk through this so I can understand it. So they have the hearing, and then as you're leaving, they go, "Oh, wait, by the way, is that what happened?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just so
That's exactly what happened.
Okay. They knew about it though when you walked in the door.
Yeah, they were trying to take my truck away. If I'd have drove my truck down there, they would have stopped me and arrested me on the road and impounded my truck and cost me another $400 for that to get it out, if I could even afford it now. More,
because you would have sat in jail and you would have had to decide to bail yourself out or bail the truck out.
Well, before they impounded my truck, I didn't have to pay any bail. They knew taking $500 on is about it. If they took more than that, I wouldn't have forked anything out. I just let the truck go.
That means when they processed me through. Now I spent 2 nights in jail for that.
I'm 64 years old. I shouldn't even have to go through this. I ain't done a fucking thing.
I'm gonna help you. I gotta make a video, so I
haven't done a thing. I'm sorry, Chille, but I'm just saying I shouldn't even have to go through this. I got heart conditions, and I got high blood pressure, and I haven't addressed it for over a year and a half because of this COVID thing, and I won't go to the hospital because I'm not wearing a mask. So that's just the way it is.
Did you know that? You're not worth saving with the mask on first.
I'm not worth saving.
Unless you put on, you get the flock out of here. You moved out there, and then you didn't want to take the vaccination, right?
No. Why would I want to put that shit in my veins?
I'm with you.
I would want to at least wait about 5 or 6 years just to see what it does to everybody else before I put it in my veins.
Me too. I want some. Yes. Yeah. I want.
No, I'm not. Data. Me and Annie. No. Matter of fact, we freaked out when her mom got it. Oh my God, her mom got one vaccination.
If you want me to do it now, all the other stuff from pandemic forward, so this is what's going on. This is what's going on there.
Yeah.
You got out of your house in 2020. The pandemic nonsense was going on, and then from ever since then, since you had. So you put your stuff out at a property, and your neighbor, who has a state trooper son, didn't like that you had all your stuff there, and that you moved out there. No,
because he was deer hunting over here and stuff before I moved out here. He was cutting all the deadfall.
Is that guy's
he
son
came
involved?
He came over sometime 30 years ago. Hey, let me throw this in there.
Is that guy's son involved in any of your arrests?
Yes, he is. He's involved in every one of it. Hey, when I went up there in my third pretrial, that man and his wife was up in that courtroom, and that's when I thought. That's when I
gotta make your video. You want me to make your video? I gotta go.
I do. Hey, but here's when he was up there, he was thinking I was going to get arrested that day for what I got arrested for a while back.
Okay.
That's why he was up there. He's going to watch me get. Well, they didn't put me in the torture cuffs either. They walked me through there without being in the torture cuffs.
You want me to make your video? I gotta go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, I care about you. I'm sorry.
I care about you too, buddy, and you're going to make me into something like you're doing right now. You're going to make me and my girl into that because we're gonna make this trend go on. We're never going to stop until this is righted. It's wrong. It's wrong right now. I mean, people are paying for it that are innocent. I'm tired of it.
What's the date of your court?
It's on the 13th, and I'm not sure if it's going to be 9, 10 o'clock, but it's going to be there in the morning sometime.
And the courthouse.
I'll send it an email or text it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
And in somewhere between that conversation, me asking him for his name and ID and all this and that, he said, "Don't go for your gun." And clearly, I watched the videos. Nobody moved when he said. The only one who moved was him saying it. "Don't go for your gun." And then I repeated it back to him. I said, "Well, don't go for your gun either."
In the first prelim, he admitted that you didn't resist.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, in the first prelim that we went to, I got to tell you, Chille, I got to tell you, I mean, I watched a lot of your videos, and I know you know a lot of things, okay? I ain't going to buck that. But anyways, we went to see a lawyer before the pretrial, and we walk in there, and I got a video on that. You got to hear it. You'll laugh your ass off. But anyways, we went in there, and automatically, as soon as we walked in the room, he's telling me how much trouble I'm in, and I didn't do nothing. I'm in a lot of trouble, and I haven't done anything to be in trouble, other than carry a weapon I've been carrying ever since I've been a child. 12 years old, I've been shooting guns at rabbits and all that, providing for my family, and oh my God, I always carried a sidearm since 9/11. That's when I got my concealed weapon permit. Because people are running around with trying to bomb people and shit. Jesus. I don't know. I felt like I needed to carry a gun. Never felt like that in my whole life until 9/11.
So you left the city and you moved out there. And
not city, I was in the country, but anyways, I had this property I bought out here, and then we were living in like a campground in a boat, you know. And when the pandemic hit, we decided that we were just going to move out on the property. Everything I had was on trailers with license plate. Everything I had, so my cousin's a building inspector, Oceana County. He told me as long as I got them on trailers with license plates, I was perfectly legal to move out here with that.
But you haven't had any problem with these guys before. This is just.
Oh yeah, that's when I had problems. Is when I moved out here. That's when it all started.
So when the pandemic started.
Yep, that's when it all started.
The interaction with police began.
Mm-hmm. That's when it all started. Yep, because I moved out to my property, and my neighbor to the south of me does not want me here. And he's got a state trooper son. He's got a state trooper son. Okay.
Oh, so your neighbor
has a state trooper son. He don't want me here.
And then they begin to compound and just target you. But previously, this hasn't been a problem. You've had a normal life. There's nothing.
Well, not since the pandemic, we moved out here. Didn't you see the pictures where we live right now?
Chille, this is where I used to live. 2018, April. At the end of April, I sold this house, and I made about $40,000 on top of it. and I took it and bought 10 acres over here in Dalton Township.
I think that we should broadcast your story and try to get a Second Amendment right attorney to help you who lives in Michigan.
I hope you can find him, because there ain't no lawyer close by here who's going to help me. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're all colluded together to send people up that road. This has been going on since 2017. There's more to my story than ever meets the eye. You wait till you hear the rest of it.
Well, we don't have time yet.
I know you don't got time, but I'm just telling you. When this all gets done, I want to tell you the other story.
Well, you can't from jail, so let's talk about this right now. So what I want to do is I want to air your story. I'm going to cut out personal information and things that people don't need to hear, and then get you on a live and try to get someone who will help you, because there's no core criminal conduct.
What are the classifications of criminal conduct? Well, generally, criminal conduct is broken down into misdemeanors and felonies, and that is strictly based upon severity of the crime, or as judged by the law. And a felony is going to entail larger punishments, such as greater fines, a longer period of imprisonment. Also, felonies tend to be held on your permanent record and can prejudice you in ways that affect your ongoing rights, such as the right to own a firearm or the right to vote in some scenarios, whereas a misdemeanor generally does not affect that.
You didn't do anything wrong. You were just having a weapon for self-protection. This is crazy, crazy. We have to get enough gun advocates, enough people who have a voice to go down to the courthouse the day you have court to try to let the judge know that they don't want you to go to jail. They don't want you to get in trouble. Ricky doesn't belong going to jail. How old are you?
64 years old.
You're 64 years old, man. You need to go to prison? I mean, are you a danger to this society?
Not as long as you're not trying to come and get my shit.
Right. So they called you and you talked shit on the phone to them, and so now you're a danger and they want to lock you away. Who's the victim? The state?
Yeah, the state. Well, yeah, they're the victim until they get me out of the way, and then Annie will be the victim.
This is crazy. So I'm gonna air your footage, your audio with me, and try to bring in enough people who have a voice that say, you know, and I think New York Gun Club versus Bruin is enough. I think that the case is from July of 2022, and so it's like they're trying to say your gun was concealed because you were in a car.
So the Supreme Court just issued a 6-3 opinion authored by Justice Thomas in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin concealed carry case. In the decision, the court held that New York's proper cause requirement violates the 14th Amendment by preventing law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public for self-defense. So how does Thomas reach that determination? Well, he says, in this case, petitioners and respondents agree that ordinary law-abiding citizens have a similar right to carry handguns publicly for their self-defense. We too agree, and now hold, consistent with Heller and McDonald, that the Second and 14th Amendment protect an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside of the home. So right from the outset on this section of the opinion, they established that carrying a firearm out in public for self-defense is a protected right. He states in 43 states the government issues licenses to carry based on objective criteria. But in 6 states, including New York and California, the government further conditions issuance of license to carry on a citizen's showing of some additional special need. The question the court faces is if that special need requirement has any historical support. Again, the test is there any historical basis or historical analog for this type of regulation? To determine that, the court does a deep dive into all the historical arguments put forward by the state of New York to justify their restriction. But the court ultimately concludes that none of these historical limitations on the right to bear arms approach New York's proper cause requirement because none operated to prevent law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from carrying arms in public for that purpose. So essentially they're saying all this evidence and historical context and tradition that the state puts forward as a justification for this type of restriction, the Supreme Court says, nice try, but none of that justifies what you're actually doing. That right there sets the stage for national shall issue being the baseline standard.
They don't want you to have guns, period. This is not about compromise. This is not about, reasonableness. No. They do not want you to have a gun. In New York, you cannot get a permit to carry a gun to protect yourself. It was so bad they had to take it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court held that law was unconstitutional. People should be allowed to carry a gun to protect themselves. And when they said that, all the people who were talking about reasonableness, why can't you compromise, are now screaming bloody murder because the Supreme Court said you do have a right to protect yourself with a firearm in public. That is who we're fighting against. It's not us being extreme. You give them an inch, they want to take a mile. That's how this works. But they know they have to do it incrementally. They want to get to the point where they can ban handguns, but they don't want to give anything. So when they actually lose something, i.e. the ability to restrict people's rights in New York to carry a firearm to protect themselves, all of a sudden they're mad. That being said,